Hey guys, it's Vornskyr here, and today we're back in Elite Dangerous, and I am going to take a look at a couple of weapons, which isn't something that I normally do, but yeah, so the Plasma Accelerators, and to clarify, these are the Class 2 or Size 2, whatever they call it in Elite. They're kind of the medium mount weapons, they're not the huge mounts that you get on the Anaconda, because there is a Plasma Accelerator for that as well. But it's the same type of weapon, so it's just smaller. So yeah, these things are, if we have a look down here, these are ridiculously expensive, 834,000 credits. So basically it's worth more than twice the value of my Cobra just in one of these single weapons. You can see they draw a lot of power. Actually, I'm actually over my power usage limit when my weapons are deployed, and I've got a Class 4 B grade reactor, so they're pretty power hungry. Luckily, I can disable a couple of things to get under the power usage when I'm actually flying. So their thermal damage, these are fixed weapons as well. They're not gimbaled, they're definitely not turrets or anything like that, so you have to be pretty precise with using them. So decent damage, decent armor penetration, very slow rate of fire, which equals a fairly slow DPS, and a lot of thermal load. You will see this take effect once we're actually doing some shooting. And these weapons do use ammo, so they've got more ammo than the railgun, which is good. Is there a railgun nearby that I can have a look at? There's one here. There's this, I mean this uses ammo as well, but it doesn't actually show it in this description, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, so these are ammo using weapons, which means you do have to pay for munitions as well. I think it's about, what is it? I think it's 2,000 credits per clip, something like that. So yeah, it's not too expensive actually in terms of real world use. But anyway, so those are the stats. I'm not sure how useful they are, but anyway, it's the best we can do. So I've got two of them mounted, and I've got two beam lasers. The beam lasers are gimbaled, so I can use the beams to take down shields, and then the accelerators to take down hull, hopefully. Or maybe the accelerators will be good against shields as well. I guess we will find out. So let me launch out of here, and I'll go to, I guess I'll just go to a Nav Beacon. I don't think there's, I prefer to go to a war zone so I could have a wide variety of ships, but I don't think there's actually any around this system, which is a bit unfortunate. But anyway, I'll launch out of here and we'll get into some combat. Okay, we are at the Nav Beacon. Now before I actually start shooting, I'll show you how I managed to get my power under control. Basically, I just disabled the cargo hatch, and you can see my usage went down to 97%. With the cargo hatch enabled, it's at 102%. So yeah, basically just disable something that you're not going to use. Like, I know that I'm not going to be using anything to do with the cargo hatch at the moment, like during this combat, because I'm not going to scoop up anything, I'm not going to, jettison anything, so the cargo hatch is a safe one to disable, and that's an easy 4% of power, at least in this Cobra. So that's just a nice little trick. Another trick when you're at war zones is make sure you know what the primary, like the highest influence faction is. So here it's Empire Group, who I am allied with. They've got 79% influence. Now this means, because they've got the most influence, the Federals will actually be members of that faction, I believe. And there's none here that I can actually look at. But, and what that means is when you shoot a member of that faction, the Federals will become hostile to you and they will start shooting you. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if it's just a bit of game design, but either way, it catches a lot of people by surprise. It took me by surprise a few times as well before somebody told me how it worked. So yeah, basically I'm just not going to shoot at anybody from that faction. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, I've got my weapons deployed. There's somebody shooting over here, so there's probably somebody with a bounty, I'm not sure who. And we'll try to find how these weapons perform against a variety of different ships. Anything from small ships to larger ships. Probably won't find an Anaconda around here, but if we're lucky we'll get Imperial Clippers or Asps, or maybe even a Python. And this is a Clipper right here. Is this guy wanted? Hopefully he is. I don't particularly want to get a bounty. No, he's not. It's unfortunate. What about this Cobra though? Waiting. Alright, this is good. I'm not going to bother doing a kill warrant scan on him. Now the problem with the velocity of the rounds, as we'll see here, is that it makes it pretty easy to miss, especially shooting from a distance. But I'll line it up. And that was the wrong fire group. Let's do that. Okay, so his shields are down and his hull took about 20% damage. But check out the heat readout next to my radar to the left when I next fire. And I just want to get this in exactly the right place. Alright, so we've got a ton of damage out of that shot, Also a lot of heat though, and that's kind of the problem. So it means that you're limited more than just by the weapons refire, because if you fire too much and your heat rises, it won't let you fire basically, until that heat diminishes a little bit. So something to be aware of. Anyway, but we saw they did a ton of damage. That was what, 4 shots basically, or 2 shots with the 2 weapons, and that Cobra was basically dead. So that was pretty awesome. It helped that all of them hit, and you saw how precise I had to be trying to aim around. You can't really spam this weapon or anything like that. So we've got a Type 6 down here who's hostile to me. But I'll only attack him if he has a bounty. So it can take a while to find bounties sometimes, so I'll just cruise around here until the next target appears, and then we'll take that out as well. Alright, so we have a Sidewinder here. This ship is not ideal for this weapon, this Sidewinder. It's actually too small, and I came up with it way too fast. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the weapon spread won't be too far apart to actually hit it. And I actually can't see my lead indicator anymore because of it's the same color as the sun. There we go. And the other problem is shooting at maneuverable ships like this, they can easily kind of get out of the way of the round. Anyway, there we go. All his shields down and down to 40% hull. That one missed. I mean, I was kind of expecting these sort of weapons to be a one-hit kill on small ships like the Sidewinder, and that's a bit too close now. I'll just give him a bit of a beam laser because I can. This is the other problem with fighting the Sidewinders. Sometimes they don't really get far away from you. They like staying up close and personal sometimes. Let's put around. Oh, no, they missed. So somebody's shooting at me. Where's this Sidewinder? There he is. So let's just try to line up a shot, and I hit the wrong trigger. Oh, that missed. So you see, then these weapons just aren't really suited for fighting small ships. Hello. Yeah, it's just the round moves too slowly. That one hit, but it didn't do that much damage actually. That only took him down to 13% hull. Only one of them's firing because of the way I've got my ship turned. See, that took down less than 10% hull on a Sidewinder. That's not really ideal, if I'm honest. Let's just finish him off with the beam laser. And this Type 6 is shooting at me, but he doesn't have a bounty. So yeah, that's not really great for my mind. For what I thought, I mean, I figured this weapon would be a lot more damaging than it is. So is this Clipper wanted? If he is, that'll be good. No, he's clean. I bet that's the same one actually. And I bet this Type 7 is wanted. Is he with Empire Group? No, he's not. I can actually take him out. No, he's gone. So much for that. So we've got 2 Clippers nearby, and none of them actually have bounties on them, which is a shame. That Asp doesn't have one either. But anyway, I'll keep cruising around until I find another person to shoot at. Alright, this Viper is wanted, and we'll actually get a good shot on him while he's scanning me. So, straight to the face. Didn't even take down his shields. Not great. Interesting how that Cobra, his shields went down straight away. But I think this guy's a far higher rank, so he might have better equipment or something like that. Given that he is Master. So let's see if we can get another shot on him. It's pretty long range, so I'd be surprised if it hits, but you never know. Nope, they missed. Might have to give myself a bit more engine power so I can keep up with this guy's maneuvering. So yeah, these aren't ideal weapons, and it's actually not letting me fire this because of thermal overload. Basically it would mean my heat was too high. And that's what I was saying, you got to be careful about the heat of this and everything, and you got to let the weapons cool down, so you just don't get that refire rate. So yeah, it's really looking like against small ships, and I think the Viper would still be considered a small ship, but it's really looking like they're just not the greatest weapons to use. And that missed. actually went in front of him. So you see how far ahead of them you have to aim with this lead indicator. So those ones went straight to the face. His shields still aren't down. I had to use my shield cells there because I'm screwing around so long with this. Well, let me take down the rest of his shields with my beam lasers, and then we'll try his hull. If his shields decide to go down. There we go. Let's try to line up this shot. Nope, that was a miss. And my heat level's getting fairly high. Try that. Nope, that was a miss as well. That was also a miss. So, I mean, I'm getting pretty close to the lead indicator, but the thing is, any slight maneuvers that he makes while the round is on its way are going to throw that off. So those ones hit, and they did a ton of damage, which is good. And I might just finish him off. Oh no, I'll put another shot into him if I can. Oh, he's hit his boost. It's kind of a waste probably using more Plasma Accelerator rounds, but why not? And they missed. I think he's actually running away. I don't really want him to jump out with his frameshift drive. No, the long range shot didn't work. And his shields are back up as well. So I'll actually take them down with the beams. Almost there. Oh, that one missed as well. And the weapons spread of the Cobra doesn't help, because obviously the weapons don't have any gimbaling to bring them back in line. It means that at close range, these weapons are actually fairly wide apart, like their hard points. So try that. But so for some smaller ships, the weapon will actually just be wider than they are, like the convergence or whatever. Fuck it, let's just hit him with the beams to finish him off. I want his bounty. Alright. So, we're definitely seeing it's not an efficient weapon to use against smaller ships.
Target destroyed.
I'd like to have something bigger to take a shot at, but haven't seen anything so far. Unfortunately, with combat zones, sometimes you have to wait a while until the larger ships start spawning in, especially given that I want to wait for ones that have bounties. So I'll just keep flying around, and we'll see what we can see. Oh, we've got this Type 6, this is a slightly larger target, so it should be easy to hit, and he's wanted, which is always nice. So, didn't take his shields down. Let's take another shot, once I can actually make sure I'll hit him. Okay, shields are down, that was also 20% hull. And I can't fire because of my heat. Let's try it. There we go, he's dead. So that wasn't too bad, but obviously a Type 6 isn't actually a combat ship. Still, it got the bounty. Got this hauler down here as well, who is wanted. Put a few shots into him as well, or hopefully it won't take more than one. Let's go from a distance like that. There we go, that's good. Problem is, he's actually fighting somebody else, which means he's going to be maneuvering around a bit. And again, that slow velocity will hurt us. But anyway, I think only one of those actually hit him, and that took out the rest of his hull for his 400 credit bounty. Definitely worth that. Oh, we got a wanted Python. This is good. He doesn't have shields, and I don't really care what faction he's with. He's with Empire Group, so I'll just have to run away once I shoot him. But anyway, let's see what sort of damage we do to this Python. And I feel like this is probably the sort of ship these weapons are more designed for, like a large combat ship. But I guess we'll find out. So he's got no shields, and he's only mostly harmless, so his weapons probably won't do much either. Let's open up on him. 20% hull in a single shot. So that's pretty good. Let's go another one. That's only one fired because of the way I had my ship angled. Let's take another one. Okay, I think only one of those hit, but that was 10% hull. So it's looking like 10% hull with each shot on a Python, which is not bad. Oh, that was only 3%. It's interesting.
Under attack.
Not sure what's going on there. It's you can see his hull's actually not going down anymore. I don't know if I'm somehow managing to hit his subcomponents or something, like his power plant or that sort of shit. I don't know. I don't know why that didn't do anything to him. Those two shots did about 10%. 1%. This is very strange. So am I actually hitting his subcomponents? I must be. Look at his power plant's only at 15%. Okay, so I guess I was actually doing some big damage to those without even realizing it, which is something I should try. Let me actually I've got his power plant targeted now, so I'll see if I can just hit that. And nope, I didn't hit it that time. What about like this? Yep, power plant's dead, and I think that's going to kill him. Alright, is there another big ship I can try? Sidewinder, Hauler, Viper. So I'm wondering if these weapons are actually better suited for pinpoint targeting their subsystems or something. I can try it against this Hauler, I suppose. Actually, I should check if he's got a bounty first. Just because he's hostile doesn't mean that he has a bounty. Clean. The Viper's probably security service, I would imagine. Nope, it's not. Clean. This is annoying. I actually want to try out this, I want to try out shooting at these subcomponents. I'll kill this Eagle, who is wanted, but I won't need to target anything with him. He'll probably be a one-hit kill given that he doesn't have any shields. Let's try it anyway. I don't know what he's doing. He's actually a bit too close. Oh, there we go, he's dead. And now everybody's pissed off at me. At least I got that sweet, sweet money though. Hopefully these security service guys won't be too much of a problem. Okay, this Cobra Mark III is wanted. Let's target his power plant. And we'll try this again. And I do have more people shooting at me now.
Under attack.
The longer I sit in here, the more they're going to shoot at me. He's only using multi-cannons by the sound of it, and the fact that it's not actually doing anything. Alright, so this Cobra is engaged with somebody else, which might make it a little bit more difficult to get shots on him. Let's do that. A little bit of damage to his shields. Take out his shields with the beam laser then. Beam laser is obviously better for doing that. Help to give me more power to my weapons. Alright, shields are down. Now let's see if I can actually get this. Oh, he's getting pretty close. Missed his power plant. Because the thing is, just because you've got the power plant targeted doesn't mean that you're going to hit it. And so you see I did a fair bit of damage to his hull there instead. So let's try that. Okay, that did some decent damage to the power plant. And I can't see my lead indicator. There it is. Didn't hit the power plant. And again, well, he's only one shot away now. So it's looking like a more effective way of using these weapons might actually be targeting the power plant. And this Clipper has finally gone and got himself wanted. They do that. If you stick around long enough, these ships, especially the ones that actually engage in combat, they will become wanted after a while because they'll hit the wrong target. So let's target his power plant, and this one should be a slightly better test, I think. Although I'm not sure how much firepower or how many of these shots a Clipper can take to its regular hull. Well, let's try. I don't really want to try long range shots because they probably won't hit. So I'll just get a bit closer. Try that. That came pretty close to hitting, I think. Okay, come on, where are you? There he is. And come on. No, that one's gonna miss. still missing. Oop, gotta use my shield cell. Alright, so that did a ton of damage. That one actually hit his power plant, and that did a fair bit of damage to it. Let's try another one. Oh, his shields are back up. Let's take care of that. I really shouldn't be just sitting here like this, it's not very smart, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I'll actually use chaff in a second if I can. Oh. He's taken a lot of shots to the face rather than the power plant, which means his hull has gone down a fair bit. So sniping the power plant, not as simple as it sounds. He's on 1% now, so I'm not gonna take out the power plant. All that for 800 credits. Well, alright. I think I'll head back to the station now, and we'll see how many credits I spent with all this shooting, as opposed to how much I brought in, and I guess I'll kind of wrap it up then. Okay, so let's have a look at what our munitions cost was. 25,000 credits reload. That is a lot. To be fair, I was using the Plasma Accelerator primarily. Normally I would use the beam lasers as well, but I wanted to show off the Plasma Accelerators a bit more. But either way, that is expensive. There's also, well, maybe 1,000 credits worth of shield cell banks. But yeah, okay. So it's not as expensive as using, say, I don't know, torpedoes or some shit, I don't think, but still, that's a bit pricey. So we did bring in a fair bit more than that from the bounty hunting. 74,000 credits worth of bounties. But, I mean, normally if I was using multi-cannons, I might have spent 2,000 credits in ammunition costs, and I probably would have killed things a bit faster as well. So yeah, my thoughts on this weapon, I think it's good. If you can pinpoint target their ship's power plant, a large ship's power plant, it might be useful. My results with that were a bit inconsistent, but I don't know, maybe if you're a lot better at that, then that could be a good use for this weapon. I think for general purpose combat, there's no point. The initial investment of the weapon is very high. You got what, 840,000 credits per gun. So you're going to use 2 of them on a Cobra probably, and so that's pretty good. That's a good amount of credits for something that's not particularly useful against smaller ships. Like, I mean, against a Cobra it worked if you got those solid hits, but realistically a good multi-cannon setup and pulse lasers or beam lasers, you use all of those together, you'll take down those ships just as fast and maybe faster, because you don't have to worry as much about missing shots, and you don't have to worry as much about the heat, like, because these weapons cause your heat to rise up pretty fast. So yeah, I think these are probably very situational weapons, and even against big ships, I don't know if there's that much point. Especially given I think there are probably better options for a far smaller cost. But I mean, they are pretty cool to use. And it's definitely something different. So if you have the credits out there, definitely go try it for yourself and see what it's like. But I wouldn't dedicate like hours grinding just to reach these weapons. I don't think there's much point. I think you can get far superior weapon setups, especially for all-around combat, for a lot cheaper. But yeah, so I think I'll end this one here. So as always, I've been Vornskyr, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.